What?
Yeah?
We're... Okay. Okay, welcome back to Gretta's Grimoire with 2 M's. Thank you for turning the page, although I wasn't expecting you to turn it so fast. Sorry about that, I was just listening to some bops, some jams, you know, which is so fitting because we are reading a story about the original bops. Almost too fitting. Okay, so without further ado, the wonderful musician. There was once a wonderful musician who went quite alone through a forest and thought of all manner of things, and when nothing was left for him to think about, he said to himself, "Time is beginning to pass heavily with me here in the forest. I will fetch a good companion for myself." Then he took his fiddle from his back and played so that it echoed through the trees. It was not long before a wolf came trotting through the thicket towards him. "Ah, here is a wolf coming. I have no desire for him," said the musician, but the wolf came nearer and said to him, "Ah, dear musician, how beautifully you do play. I should like to learn that too." "Oh, it is soon learned," the musician replied. "Only you have to do all that I bid you." "Oh, musician," said the wolf, "I will obey you as a scholar obeys his master." The musician had him follow. When they had gone part of the way together, they came to an old oak tree which was hollow inside and cleft in the middle. "Look," said the musician, "if you will learn to fiddle, put your 4 paws into the crevice." The wolf obeyed, but the musician quickly picked up a stone and with one blow wedged his 2 paws so fast that he was forced to stay there like a prisoner. "Stay there until I come back again," said the musician, and went his way. After a while he again said to himself, "Time is beginning to pass heavily with me here in the forest. I will fetch another companion," and took his fiddle and again played in the forest. It was not long before a fox came creeping through the trees towards him. "Ah, there's a fox coming," said the musician. "I have no desire for him." The fox came up to him and said, "Oh, dear musician, how beautifully you do play. I should like to learn that too." "That is soon learned," said the musician. "You have only to do everything that I bid you." "Oh, musician," then said the fox, "I will obey you as a scholar obeys his master." "Follow me," said the musician, and when they had walked part of the way, they came to a footpath with high bushes on both sides of it. There the musician stood still, and from one side bent a young hazel bush down to the ground, and put his foot on the top of it. Then he bent down a young tree from the other side as well, and said, "Now, little fox, if you will learn something, give me your left front paw." The fox obeyed, and the musician fastened his paw to the left bough. "Little fox," said he, "now reach me your right paw," and he tied it to the right bough. When he had examined whether they were firm enough, he let go, and the bushes sprang up again and jerked up the little fox, so it hung struggling in the air. "Wait there till I come back again." And the musician went his way. Again he said to himself, "Time is beginning to pass heavily with me here in the forest. I will fetch another companion." So he took his fiddle, and the sound echoed through the forest. Then a little hare came springing towards him. "Why, a hare is coming," said the musician. "I do not want him." "Ah, dear musician," said the hare, "how beautifully you do fiddle. I too should like to learn that." "That is soon learned," said the musician. "You have only to do everything that I bid you." "Oh, musician," replied the little hare, "I will obey you as a scholar obeys his master." They went a part of the way together until they came to an open space in the forest, where stood an aspen tree. The musician tied a long string around the little hare's neck, the other end of which he fastened to the tree. "Now briskly, little hare, run 20 times round the tree," cried the musician, and the little hare obeyed. And when it had run round 20 times, it had twisted the string 20 times round the trunk of the tree, and the little hare was caught. And let it pull and tug as it liked, it only made the string cut into its tender neck. "Wait there till I come back," said the musician, and went onwards. The wolf, in the meantime, had pushed and pulled and bitten at the stone, and had worked so long that he had set his feet free, and had drawn them once more out of the cleft. Full of anger and rage, he hurried after the musician, and wanted to tear him to pieces. When the fox saw him running, he began to lament, and cried with all his might, "Brother Wolf, come to my help, the musician has betrayed me." The wolf drew down the little tree, bit the cord in two, and freed the fox, who went with him to take revenge on the musician. They found the tied-up hare, whom likewise they released, and then they all sought the enemy together. The musician had once more played his fiddle as he went on his way, and this time he had been more fortunate. The sound reached the ears of a poor woodcutter, who instantly, without a thought, gave up his work and came with his hatchet under his arm to listen to the music. "At last comes the right companion," said the musician, "for I was seeking a human being and no wild beast." And he began and played so beautifully and delightfully that the poor man stood there as if bewitched, and his heart leaped with gladness. And as he thus stood, the wolf, the fox, and the hare came up, and he saw well that they had some evil design. So he raised his glittering axe and placed himself before the musician, as if to say, "Whoever wishes to touch him, let him beware, for he will have to deal with me." Then the beasts were terrified and ran back into the forest. The musician, however, played once more to the man out of gratitude, and then went onwards. Okay. The guy didn't even try to pretend that this was a music lesson, so I want to imagine that the animals were justifying it in their heads. He's like, "Oh, maybe he's like testing to see if I can have like fiddler's fingers or whatever so I can reach to the back of the tree," or I don't even know. I'm like, what song was he playing? I bet we all know. Goes a little something like, yeah, we'll never know. You're right. Okay, two things. Music is powerful. Universally powerful, to the point that these animals recognized it, and like they were diverse animals. It wasn't just predators. There was a hare, and there was this poor woodcutter who like obviously hadn't like been cultured and appreciated music. I mean, I don't know, but it said poor woodcutter, so I assumed. My bad. And like, yeah, the animals were getting in line. I mean, too bad we didn't get a rat somewhere in the story. I mean, it's not like the musician was playing a pipe, though. Moving on. Okay. Thing two. While I don't agree with the way the musician treated the animals, it does illustrate an important point. That you should search for the right someone and don't stop. Whether it be a friend, a spouse, a pet, a car. Yeah, I lost it. Okay. The point is, you deserve to find someone who's going to treat you how you need to be treated, and vice versa. I mean, of course, you gotta treat them good, too, if you want them to stay. If you don't, if you just want to find that person, play them a song and then leave. I mean, that's cool, too, I guess. Not cool, but anyways. And so, while it might be hard, it's okay to pass up other people or creatures on the way to get to that right someone. Like, now obviously we're not all going to be best friends with someone or marry a supermodel, because statistically speaking, there are more people than supermodels. Let's be real. But there's going to be someone who just makes you, like, so happy inside. So, whether you're friends with this person or it's a pet, I don't know. Okay, and especially, it's okay to pass these creatures up if they have a reputation of being not cool and nice and all that. the fox and the wolf. Those creatures don't have the best reputation. Well, some of it is unwarranted. Some of it is not. They can kill people. I mean, I guess the hare was just the poor last, like, 3rd time's the charm, I'm done with everyone. But he did specifically say he was looking for a human being, so he knew what he wanted, and he was gonna get it. Yeah. Yeah, so then definitely pass those guys up, and don't feel sorry about it, because they're spooky. I mean, obviously give people a chance, but if, like, that wolf is, like, creeping up, and he's, like, drooling, you're like, don't do it. And if that fox just looks extra sly, that's his fault. Like, you can look sly on accident, like, because that's just your face. Like, when people have resting mean face. But you can tell if they're doing it on purpose. That's on them, so leave. But my point is, you gotta be nice about it. Like, if you want this to succeed, like, if you're like, this person's not for me, I need to move on, you gotta be nice. I know it's, okay. Find what works for you, whether it's, like, being a little bit funny about it and throwing, you know, like, not mean funny, but, like, you know, you're just like, hey, man, look, it's, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think of this beforehand, so it's just not there, but find what works for you so that you can be not necessarily nice, but definitely not mean about ditching these people, not ditching, but yeah, about telling them that they are not the one thing you're looking for, not necessarily in a committed relationship kind of deal. Okay. And the point is to give them human rights. Not because they deserve it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they've been really mean to you, and you really don't want to be nice to them. I get that. And so don't be nice. Like, if they don't deserve you being nice to them, like, because they've really hurt you and other people, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. All I'm saying is don't be mean. Because in the long run, it will come back to bite you. Whether it be a friend of them and then they were with the right one for you in whatever situation. So they heard about you and were like, that guy, that girl, that person, dog, I don't know who's watching this video, is not cool. So I'm not going to be cool to them. Or it'll just eat you up inside. Or it'll create a habit of you being mean to get what you want, even if that wanting is to be out of a bad situation. And don't stoop to their level, man. Like, come on. That's not cool. And we all want to be cool. I can't see anything. And with that, this episode has reached its happily ever after. Turn the page to learn more. These things. What the? Okay, now I can see. Yeah.